Admiral's Log. As the tempest of war rages across the globe, the year 1941 stands as a pivotal moment for the United States Navy. We find ourselves enmeshed in a formidable conflict, facing adversaries on multiple fronts: China, Russia, France, and Italy. Though no skirmishes have yet occurred with China and Italy, their presence on the opposing sides only adds to the complexities of this devastating war. Meanwhile, our rapid territorial gains against the Russian forces challenge us to consider how to best deploy our fleet for both strategic advantage and responsible stewardship of lives entrusted to our command. In the confines of my quarters, I pore over charts and tactical plans, contemplating the intricate dance of maneuvers and the delicate balance between might and morality. Our fleet comprises not only the formidable Sentinel-class battlecruisers, but also the valorous ships of the Liberty, Morris, Scranton, and Pennsylvania classes, each bearing its own unique strengths and virtues. With the vast expanse of the oceans as our canvas, I am burdened with the weighty responsibility of orchestrating our naval forces in a manner that aligns with our values and serves our mission to safeguard freedom and peace. Hey guys, Stealth here and welcome to episode 8. It's a clash of fleets, although, well, let's say I have a fleet, they have a task force. We're gonna club a few light cruisers with the battleship Sovereign, our flagship. This thing can rumble with 18-inch guns, and as I'm currently recording this on version 1.3.9.8 Live RX4, they could have summarized that a bit, is the gun resizer and the balance mod once again active. I've got it working again. I hope it's going to maintain working because it does change the way that the guns fire. Changes the way that the gun statistics work, it changes the way that the penetration mechanics work to some extent. All the information linked down below in the mod description. Whoa, hello. Right from the get-go we're opening up. We have pretty damn good accuracy. 17% already. Status of the ships. It's Memphis, Charlotte, Bainbridge. It looks like everybody is in good spirits and in good health. Which is very, very nice, because I would very much appreciate not taking too many casualties or damage at all. Because I'm trying to get a fleet large enough together in order to invade/liberate Latvia. That is what the Soviets or the Russians or however they're branding themselves today have taken. And that's what I'm here to liberate. Now these guys reload in 56 seconds. That's the dual barrel 18-inchers. And Sovereign is eager to show them what those can do. The flagship of the fleet. Now her secondaries, in case you haven't seen the ship before, is a couple of 6-inchers, a whole lot of 3-inchers, 2-inchers, and she even carries a couple of 21-inch 23.5 kilometer range torpedo launchers. So if push comes to shove and I have to disengage and still throw out some dangerous materials at the enemy, I can do just that. Now I have lost quite a lot of accuracy and I've lost a lot of visual. So I suspect that the smokescreen is interfering with my ability to detect the enemy. Or the cane was the detecting ship? Not too sure. Boink, right into Sovereign. Don't just boink into Sovereign, okay? I very much like my battleships. Oh. I think we found our thumbnail, gentlemen. Ladies. There we go. Alright, Sovereign. Let's hear it. Now she's firing armor-piercing shells. These armor-piercing shells at the current range, which is about 22.5 kilometers, they can pen 24 inches of armor. That is if you strike the belt. I'm not so sure we are going to strike the belt. It can pen about 4 inches of deck armor, which should be sufficient. If this thing hits, it's going to hit with 6,500 points of damage, and it did. It did connect with the target, but that was actually not the 18 inches, that was the 14 inches from the Bainbridge. And it looks like we may have just mauled the heavy cruiser, who's already pretending to be a submarine. A Bainbridge with her 14 inches doesn't do nearly as much damage. But yeah, that definitely left a mark on that heavy cruiser. Ship is acting nice and crispy. And the rest of the ships potentially are putting up a smoke screen in front of it, but I rather doubt that Bainbridge is really affected. Nope. Currently no effects from enemy smoke, because Bainbridge is just outside of said smoke. Come on. Yes. That was the 18-incher. An aft belt partial pen? Really? Okay. 32% chance to hit. Range, less than 20 kilometers. So we're going into the range where I can pen 33 inches of belt armor or 3.4 inches of deck. Now that is decreasing. For the simple reason that my shells are going to be coming in flatter as opposed to more vertical. So right now they're kind of slamming into the deck like that because they lose speed. They're starting to go almost vertical. Right now that doesn't happen anymore. They're going to continuously start to... Well, let's say they don't have to travel as far, so they don't lose as much energy. And as such, you're more likely to slam into the side of the ship. And this does look tempting. Yes. Deletus. 3.5k. 2 hits. Still, not as expected, really, because we're only getting partial pens. Load high explosive on Sovereign. We now have 56%, and it's dropping as the warship is changing direction. 56% chance, 52% chance to hit, and potentially deal catastrophic damage to that target. We might not pen the ship, but we will surely put a lot of hurt on her, in the form of a whole lot of fires that are getting set. That looked like it was Bainbridge's 14-inch salvo that missed. Here comes the 18-inch, but once again, the cruiser is kind of zigzagging, making it difficult for Sovereign to adequately land shells. And they're going to land, what, 2 kilometers out? 500 meters out, it's not that bad. 500 meters out. Oh, we're getting return fire. We're getting within 12 kilometer range with the DDs now. I'm kind of using the DDs as a picket screen. Oh, destroyed main tower with one 14-inch hit from Bainbridge. Really nice damage against that ship. And this should make her accuracy a bit of a mess. Now I want to make sure that the other ships, Liberty, Memphis, Charlotte, none of these are allowed to launch torpedoes because I've had my torpedoes hit my own ships a few too many times. I'm not exactly looking for a repeat performance. Who's leading this party? Oh, there's Memphis. Come on, I want to get one of those Yeetus Deletus hits with the 18-inchers. This is a salvo of 4 shells, and it does strike true, and that's 9,000 points of damage. And a whole bunch of fires that are getting set on that ship. Surprisingly, she hasn't flooded yet. She hasn't taken a single flooding. I was actually expecting that. But, okay. I guess she's built a bit sterner than we expected. But no fear. Sovereign can still get the job done. She is now broadside. She's operating well at normal speed. And her accuracy is increased to 77%. Which means that you can land a shell the size of a small car onto the deck of a ship that's operating 13 kilometers away. I think that's rather impressive. One shell? Yep, one shell from Bainbridge. And we should be expecting our small car delivery any moment now. And there it is. Oh, yes. It's satisfying. It's satisfying. I have taken some damage. Where? On a DD, perhaps? No, not you. No. You. Rupertus. Rupertus has taken some damage. This ship should be dead. Destroyed the main tower again. Look, I still don't get how that mechanic is still in the game after all this time. Why is it possible to destroy the same component, in this case a unique component, the ship only has one main tower, twice? How is that possible? Like, what needs to happen for me to be able to destroy that twice, or 3 times, or 4 times, that does require that I rebuild it, or that they rebuild it in the meanwhile, right? It's a little weird right now. Alright, this thing should be gone. There you go. At this point, it's going to be interesting, because now I'm fighting some smaller stuff. Secondaries are going at it. The 4-inchers from Bainbridge and the 6-inchers from Sovereign. The accuracy with the mains is pretty awful right about now. Because we're fighting something that is smaller, potentially a lot more maneuverable, and not eager to get hit. I mean, the cruiser wasn't eager at all, but it didn't have a smokescreen, it didn't have a whole lot of maneuverability, and it was a lot bigger. That sounded like Sovereign let loose. Look at the dispersion on those shells. Ooh! Left a mark, though. We're going to switch the Sovereign back to armor-piercing shells. I'm going to have her actually do some really useful things with AP. Potentially vile things when it comes to a light cruiser. Oh god, these things are zipping around at almost 40 knots. It's a 3-inch main armor belt, though, so that won't be very deadly. This ship is taking a lot of fire. That must be the cruisers that are pushing in. And I think she's about to get fully flooded. This thing has nowhere to go. Doesn't look particularly healthy. Oh, she did launch torpedoes at me just now. Memphis, Charlotte, starboard turn. Look deep. Nothing behind her. Very good. Alright. Oh, great. They're smoked up again. Do not fire the mains unless you have a good shot at the target. DD group. Maintain position. Yeah, that shouldn't actually be a threat. Nope, we're good. But there's no saying when the CLs are going to launch their torps. I've got a range of 14 clicks, so I'm well inside of those. Half a percent chance to hit with Memphis. Oh! 14-incher. Hit the main deck and penned it. On the Variag. Alright, Memphis. Charlotte, listen up. We're gonna yeet some torpedoes at this guy and at that guy. Torpedoes allowed when required. Set away. It's, what did these guys have? Because I changed them halfway. Yeah, this is 2 quads. Charlotte. There. Memphis, Charlotte, turn back. Where the hell is that torpedo going? Like, that's going almost at a 90-degree angle. That thing has no business going anywhere else. Torp it aggressively. Charlotte, what are your torpedo launchers even doing? You do appear to be directed at the target. Inflicting some serious damage here against these cruisers. Really, really, really serious damage. Can they actually do anything with those little pea shooters? No. Not really. Nice. Torpedoes, though. Yeah, there we go. Should have been a little more careful with the torps. For potential... No. I do not want you to be part of the battleship div. Charlotte, detach. Memphis, detach. I don't want to detach the whole battleship div. That's going to be a big mess to manage then. Memphis, continue on your turn. Charlotte, you should be fine. Don't care about collisions. So we've done, and this is no exaggeration, 123 times more damage to them than they have to me. And considering that the Russian Navy was not doing very well, I think we just managed to eliminate like 50% of them at this rate. Bainbridge is getting 7%, Sovereign struggling. Sovereign's getting like 7% chance as well. Okay, never mind. We're good. My torpedoes do not really appear to be doing anything useful. Especially the torps from Charlotte. Oh, now you're launching. Now she's launching. Alright. Memphis, come round. Memphis also threw out torps, and at this rate she might hit the Charlotte. Charlotte, new plan. What's your speed, Memphis? 16 knots. You're throwing her into a turn, right? Yeah. Oh, God. Because of these speedboats, I mean, these things are doing 39 knots. I'm likely to hit the Charlotte. All back emergency. No. No, no, no! Fuck. And that's how you do more damage to your own ships, because they suddenly do decide to start launching torpedoes than the enemy has ever done to you. This is how you do it. Sovereign didn't take a scratch, but was already damaged in some previous encounter. I think she must have... I think she got a torp hit at some point. Rion, even though she has, or used to have, a lot of speed, is still going to be able to dodge that torpedo. And is gone. Variag. Yeah, this should be done. Bit more. There's an incoming torpedo here, though. We're fine. I do love the cinematics. I think they look great. Trips away. Guys should keep crisscrossing in front of each other. There we go. Okay, Clash of Fleets. Victory. They gained 7 victory points. I gained a few more. Casualties, 54 men, 0 ships. They lost 6. So, progress against the Russians. They continue to suggest, / desperately demand, that I make peace with them. I continue to reject their advances. Because I'm not interested in such a plan. I'm interested in eventually eliminating basically the entirety of the Russian existence, or at least the Russian state as we know it, because I really do not want to have to fight them again. I have never actually been able to eliminate a major power like that. So I am operating over here in Sakhalin, and I am a little over the tonnage that I need. By a factor of about 6. So hopefully that'll actually allow me to take this. Once that's been taken, all we need to do is, you know, liberate Siberian Russia, eliminate 500,000 men, and then we can liberate Vladivostok from them. Once that is done, they have no more ports on the eastern side of the map. Doesn't exactly mean that it's going to be a short campaign either, because, well, you know... Once we've taken eastern Siberia, or eastern Russia, we might still need to take central Russia, which has a few more men. Anyway, we do have some resupply ports in the form of Finland, we have northern Russia. So we basically cut them off from any northern operations. And this means if they want to send the Russian Navy anywhere, they're going to have to go through the Baltic Sea, which is an area that I control from Lithuania. If they want to leave here in the Black Sea, they're first going to have to make sure that their ally stays friendly and allows them passage over here. Right now, they do, because the Ottomans are allied with the Russians. It's not unheard of to have the AI suddenly change sides when they find out that, well, you know, they're not doing that well. You're a big overlord. They can switch sides, and if that happens, the entirety of the Black Sea fleet is bottled up exactly there. Is it possible for me to take an area like this? Or southern Russia? Or, well, let's not pronounce that for risk of issues with YouTube. It is possible for me to take these areas and make sure that they're returned to the rightful owners. It's just that I cannot get into the Black Sea because... well, you know, the Ottoman Empire is controlling the Bosporus and will not allow me to pass right through that. As for further operations, what else is happening? Well, southern France is going on a little march. They're sending almost 1 million men into southern Spain, and they seem to be getting absolutely nowhere, because the Spanish state and the British army are holding very, very sternly, and the French have already lost 350,000 men and have made exactly 0 advances. 0 progress. As for the rest, Bosnia-Herzegovina trying to invade Serbia. What can possibly go wrong in this little powder keg? This is actually probably going to work, considering that their advance is 81%. And, well, could give them another province with a fairly healthy amount of income. Anyway, what I want to do now is have a look at my light cruiser group. Or rather, the abilities of my light cruisers, because I have my Liberties, I have the Tacomas from 1931, but it's 1941. I think it's time for a new light cruiser. Now, the Voyagers, you guys commented, the Voyagers really only got upgunned to 10-inch cruisers, which isn't that substantial of an upgrade over the previous Scranton class with their dual-inch 9-inch guns. Dual-barrel 9-inch guns. So, I'm going to take that to heart. I'm going to have a look at the Tacomas and the Liberties. The Tacomas have 6-inch guns, the Liberties have 6-inch guns. Both of these ships are capable. Both of these ships have shown that they're useful in dealing with smaller ships. I want to make sure that they still have that ability, but potentially using 4-inch guns as secondaries. So it's time to design a new light cruiser. Something that can punch way above its weight class and still be able to deal a substantial amount of damage to smaller ships. Now, I have access to the small scout cruiser or the fast scout cruiser. I think that's not exactly what I need, because while I am able to put 9-inch dual barrels on here, I think we're not really going to have enough distribution of weight, enough tonnage to actually make that viable. With a modern light cruiser that goes up to 9,900 tons, and that's only if you don't upsize the beam in the draft, this is a very serious light cruiser. And with this big girl, I can have a very serious amount of firepower on a fairly small platform. Now, I am considering going turbo-electric. The problem is, it's wildly expensive. Like, not even a bit, it's wildly expensive. And the only real reason why you would want this is because these guys get 200% acceleration and 75% decel. So they're really good at speeding up and slowing down. But the problem is, that requires a bunch of micromanagement that I generally will not be able to provide. I generally am too busy balancing or managing the bigger ships and figuring out what they're doing to really have a close personal let's say exchange with my cruisers to make sure that these guys are optimally managed. I'm going to give them depth charges. I don't care about mines at all. Let's put a main tower and a secondary tower. And let's see, how many funnels can I fit? Huh. You can just fit 2 funnels on there and not even the bigger ones. Really? Yeah, I guess. Okay. Range. The range on this ship is only 33,000 kilometers. I'm saying only because, well, my Voyagers can go a bit further than that. They can transit 112,000 kilometers. Unfortunately, it isn't shown here. So, I already have quite a lot of my displacement used. If I want to use 9-inch dual barrels, for this campaign I have limited myself to duals. In case you're wondering, why the hell am I setting that up? This is gonna cause some issues with the ship being wildly overweight. I'm thinking 8-inchers. The 9-inchers, yes, they're cool and they're really nice. The problem is, I still want to have a radar, ideally Gen 3. I still want to have like coincidence rangefinders. I want to have sonar systems. I don't care about this that much. I have TNT. You know, I want to have all the gadgets and gizmos that this ship should have. So the real question is, how do I fit all of that onto this ship? And I think the answer is not with the 9-inch guns. And potentially not with a triple hull bottoms, because that tends to make the ship extremely, extremely heavy. I can fit 6 inchers as a secondary. That is very interesting. This has to do with the, I think it's the gun resizer. The gun resize mod. Again, link down below in the description. It's part of Admiral Snackbar's balance mod. Normally, I think a 6-incher is a main gun. In this case, for light cruisers, it is not. So you can have 6-inchers as a secondary on a light cruiser, which is extremely potent. It's just not really what I need. I'm thinking a 5-inch setup like this, and I'm actually doing quite well, because I got a ship that can go fast. I got a ship that can go fairly far. The only issue is, she is overweight. Also, she doesn't yet live up to the requirement of having torpedo launchers. And I really want to stick to that rule. So I'm going to give her 21-inch electrics. Because she's going to be operating closer to the enemy anyway. These guns have a range of 20 kilometers. Good lord. That's a lot of range for a light cruiser. Ooh, we're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. If I can slam the ship a bit closer together, I might be able to condense the citadel to such an extent. Yeah, I'm like a few tons over. Alright, if she goes... Aw, really? What if I reduce the draft? There we go. It's going to cut into my range a bit, though. Oh, now I got 3 tons. Right. Actually, I don't need depth charges, I think, because the AI doesn't use them. Give me 6 inches of... No, fine. Give me 4 inches of armor. Give me 1 inch superstructure armor. And 1 inch fore, 1 inch aft. 1 inch deck, 1 inch aft deck. 4 inches conning tower? Can I supersize these? I can. Oh, look at that. I'm exactly at tonnage. So I can... Cool. I can have a light cruiser with 8-inch guns that can hit you. Well, no, it can shoot you at 30 kilometers out. What are you, Santa Fe? What are you? Because I can't, in my right mind, really call this a light cruiser. Can I slow her down just a touch? Whoa! 1 knot. That freed up a bunch of capacity. Hold on. Oh, I was hoping I could put those on the balconies. Can you do them with 4-inch? Yes, you can. I like it. 4-inch. Ideally super range. Same for the 5s, of course. And now the 4s can shoot out to 15 kilometers on average, and the 5s can shoot out to, let's say, 19.5-ish. Will they hit anything? I rather doubt it. I mean, it's possible that they accidentally hit something, but I genuinely don't really believe that they're actually going to be able to do that much. Mission profile for these ships is to be able to do a bit of everything. Harass battleships with long-range HE shells. And I'm thinking HE fire is probably their best bet, because the rest won't pen anyway. Shoot smaller ships with both really deadly incendiary rounds, as well as shoot them with a 5-inch. And on top of that, make sure that if something big shows up that does not turn, the torpedo launchers are going to make sure that it recognizes the mistake of not changing direction. I.e., it could cause some flooding. Now, the ship is slightly bow heavy by 8% for offset. So let's say we're going to add 3-inch aft deck. That salvages it a bit. If I just give her like 4 inches of superstructure armor, that of course doesn't help very much. Give me 1 inch of inner deck and another one there. 2, 3, it's too much. Can I still give them like half a depth charge? Yeah, depth charge 2. Which is pretty nicely balanced with roll, weight distribution. Yeah, I like it. Okay, true to Star Trek. And the Americans who don't watch Star Trek are probably going to go, what is that? Steamrunner class. It's a bit of an odd design in Star Trek, and it is definitely an odd design in my Navy. What is exactly this thing? I don't know. You let me know down below in the comments. Have I designed a light cruiser, a heavy cruiser? Or just some sort of, I don't know, half-bred? Let's get a couple of these built. They're likely going to enter service in about 18 months or so. That's building and commissioning and training the crews up to some extent. Before these things are actually going to be able to see service, we're probably looking at 1944. And the campaign auto ends in 1950. So I better make sure that I don't take too long here. The new Steamrunner class takes 13 months to build. So yeah, 13 months to build. Let's say 3 months to commission. That's 16 months. And then give them a little bit of time to train up, ideally. Let's take 10. Alright. So, that's it for this episode. Next time around, continuing the invasions, making sure the world is a little safer, and potentially another clash with the French here and there. Because the French Navy is definitely not out. They still got a lot of ships, and they're probably eager to introduce me to them. And I look forward to meeting them. I also look forward to meeting you again in the next episode. Thank you for watching this one. I'll see you soon for more.